Hello, I'm Joe, aka Mr. Fragrance, and welcome back to another video. Today I have an unreleased fragrance from Bathhouse. It will soon be released to the public, but I'm going to try it out, see what I think, give a review, and yeah, enjoy the video. So welcome back, a brand that I've loved for a very long time. You know, I've been to their shops, I've been to their, in-store, bought fragrances from them, full bottles. I've received decants from them of a lot of their range, built up quite the relationship with the company, and to the point where I've actually received their unreleased, yet to be released fragrance called Climbing Trees. And here is the piece of paper that I received that comes with their decants. It's Climbing Trees. It's obviously going to be quite a fresh fragrance. Now, I've smelt it and I've worn it for about 3 days now. I've tried to kind of think about it, I've kind of evolved the story within my mind about what I think of this fragrance, where I believe it kind of comes from, smells like. There's fragrances that it's kind of hinting towards. I really like it. That's the baseline. So let's get into it. I'm going to give you a rundown of the notes. So in the top we have green leaves, we have lemon, and in the heart notes we have bergamot and jasmine, and in the base notes we have cashmere, cedarwood and vetiver. So yeah, that is Climbing Trees, and here is my little decant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it on the back of my hand, and yeah, immediately, top notes. You can smell the lemon, and the green leaves certainly there, but it's got a hefty kick of lemon at the top, and that's absolutely super enjoyable for me. I love that. Again, it kind of hints towards a fragrance that I've referenced quite a lot when discussing citruses. It's got part of the Acqua di Parma feel to it, with that kind of green lemon smell. Not lime, but green lemon, in the sense it's citrusy. It's almost got a fibrous touch, which is, it's difficult to describe that, but it smells like a branch off a tree. It smells like sap from a tree. It smells green. It does smell really kind of light, but it's got earthy in the sense of natural. It smells like it's straight out of a forest, squeezed out of the leaves. Not in the sense that it smells like dirty or down to earth in that sort of term. And when I first smelled this, I thought, this smells really similar to a fragrance that I know, I own, I love, and that is Interlude by Amouage. Amouage Interlude Man. It smells similar. That's what my initial thoughts were. Like, first time spraying it, I thought Interlude, that's very similar to Interlude. After wearing it, certainly changed. It moved away from Interlude completely. But now I'm kind of coming back to it, sprayed it again first time. I think I was correct in saying it's got the jasmine in Interlude, is also here in Bathhouse. Now, this isn't the airy, fairy, kind of fluffy, cloud-like jasmine that we're all used to. This is the natural, straight out of the flower jasmine smell. Completely fresh jasmine. And jasmine does not smell as you would think it would, fresh, straight oil. It's really different. It's very earthy, it's very deep, it's very dark, it's quite heavy. Excuse the phone. It's quite heavy, it's quite overwhelming actually in even small quantities. And one way that someone, it was great to talk to him actually, he described jasmine as fecal, and looking back at when I smelt Amouage Figment, I believe that's possibly where that came from, because it did. There was a lot of jasmine in that and it smelled very fecal. Jasmine doesn't smell fecal in this, but it kind of gives it a little bit more depth, and as I say a lot, it gives it a bit more intricacy. It's a little bit more different to what you'd expect, and that's what made me initially think this smells like Interlude. I must say, the man that told me that described jasmine as fecal to me, that would be Matt from Pocket Sense. So that was one great bit of information I learned from a pro. So yeah, now we're starting to dry down. It actually picks up a bit of sweetness. It kind of starts rolling, picks up a little bit of sweetness, and I'm looking at this and I imagine that's partially coming from the bergamot, but definitely cedarwood has a sweet nuance to it. It's whilst cedar can be really overwhelming and kind of harsh, it can be a really harsh addition to a fragrance if not used carefully. But it's not. It's you can also kind of pull out this sweetness from the cedar, and I believe that is being highlighted here. And the cashmere is the cashmere. Yeah. As it dried down, I've got to be honest. I started picking from a fragrance that I've described many a time on this channel. And that is Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle. It has a really fresh, sweet, linen-like smell, which I actually initially described as almost smelling like baby wipes. And that's been incorporated into this, and I can only imagine that's coming from the cashmere. Because there isn't really anything else in here that could smell like that. The vetiver, no, that's a citrus. It's like smell vetiver, green citrus, but it's got this really refreshing linen, like fresh, clean clothing smell in the base. That's kind of like from an outsider. That's without really thinking too much about the notes. That's kind of what I'm picking up. And then you start to look at the notes and you wonder where does that come from, and think, well, could only really be coming from the cashmere. But no, that's me broken it down into, say, 3 stages. So you've got your really citrus, lovely lemon at the top. In the mids, you've got this kind of jasmine earthiness, and in the base, you have this fresh linen, sweet cedar kind of thing. It's an interesting adaptation of this fragrance. It really does adapt a lot, and it's certainly not linear. Now let me give you my impressions of when I think you could wear this. I always imagine Interlude to be a wintertime, curled up, cold weather outside fragrance. I always imagine La Malle to be a fragrance I would wear in the summer by the beach. I mean, you can really wear La Malle anytime, it's very versatile. Combine these two together and you've got a fresh base. This is a spring fragrance come autumn fragrance, which then kind of leaves you this summer in between. It's so versatile, but I think that this fragrance will fit you and work best with you mid kind of summertime, start of summer to end of summer. I don't see this really being a winter fragrance because it's not got any spiciness to it whatsoever. There's not even a hint of spiciness, which is absolutely fine. Not every fragrance needs to have a hint of spiciness. This is completely out of the way of spice, and it's refreshing. It's warm from the jasmine. It's got a touch of earthiness, but it smells natural, as all of the bathhouse fragrances do. It actually just smells. It smells like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, guys, but it smells like a better version of Interlude. It does, because Interlude I struggle with for some reasons. I have days where I like it and I dislike it. Let me just say, this fragrance, if you like Interlude, you will like this, but it's not too similar. You can get this and you could own Interlude, and you could also own this, and you could be absolutely fine. You could find 2 different situations and they would fit both perfectly, but they would be very different. That's absolutely fine. And I think that this fragrance will fit that situation perfectly. I think that this could easily be a much cheaper, whilst remaining in mind, you know, this is completely natural. I think that this is probably a really good substitute for Interlude. So I really recommend this fragrance, actually. It's very nice. It's something to watch out for when it comes out. See if other people do reviews on it, see what they think. But my breakdown into 3 stages, I know it's been slight, I hope I haven't complicated it too much, but like I said, I kind of had it in a story in my mind, and I wanted to walk you through that story, and it's been a little bit bitty, but when I'm doing something like this, it's like a first impression review. I've got a lot to talk about, a lot have been in my mind, and it's kind of hard to lay it down unless I'd written it down on paper, kind of read it out to you. So from my head, I see it as being a citrus, lovely fresh top, evolving into having a deeper, a darker, earthier mid, and then a lovely, refreshing, a lovely linen-like, fresh smelling, clean base. And that's what I have for this fragrance. A lovely evolving fragrance, perfect for summertime. It depends on your climate, depends on what you think as a winter fragrance, autumn fragrance, summer fragrance, spring fragrance. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope I kind of gave you a good idea about what this is. I think there'll be many of you that this will suit for. I would say if you're not a big fan of Interlude, possibly not going to be for you, because this certainly has some similarities to Interlude that are quite defining, like that jasmine. I think that's the main one. There are certainly very different qualities though in the top. It's nothing like Interlude. You know, Interlude opens quite punchy, and yeah, this is really quite a relaxing fragrance right the way through, very smooth. So yeah, really, really nice. I think this is going to be quite a big hit for a lot of people that are looking for nights out in the summertime and looking for something a little bit more fresh and green to wear. Perfect for you. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to the Bath House for sending me this. I really, really like this. I really do. I might just have to purchase, I don't know if they do 50ml bottles of this, or if they will do 50ml bottles of this, but it comes out on the 2nd of March. So look out for this, and I will see you next time on Mr. Fragrance. Bye for now.